Welcome back to the Ed Block Courage Cast live from Radio Row here before the big game. And pleased to be joined by Cathy, who is a part of the National Athletic Trainers Association. And why that's so important to us is we work with pfats here at Ed Block that help us nominate the players from every team each year. So, Cathy, it is a pleasure to have you on. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Pleasure to be here.
So just give us a little bit of the background of NATA for people at home that don't know what we're talking
Sure.
about.
The National Athletic Trainers Association is the membership organization for athletic trainers across the country and around the world. Every setting, every demographic, we represent them in terms of advocating for athletic trainers, promoting athletic trainers, so that everyone knows what we do and how we can bring value to our patients. And treating injuries, treating illnesses, getting people back on the field, that's what we're here for.
And we've seen here within the last couple of years, particularly one example, Ed Block recipient this year, Damar Hamlin with the Buffalo Bills. Just when things like that happen, and I coached high school football, we had a very similar incident. So the value of athletic training, when you're watching the games, like you'll watch the game on Sunday, how stressful do you get being a part of the organization and being a former trainer sitting there going, oh my God, I can tell you exactly what happened?
Yeah, oddly enough, I don't get stressed because athletic trainers are so good at being prepared, making sure that an emergency action plan is in place, the medical timeout has happened before any game, and that those emergency action plans are rehearsed. So I've heard it been said, for example, in Damar's situation, that other than in an emergency room, he was in the best place he could be. He had the best care because that EAP was executed flawlessly. So athletic trainers are ready. We don't want to be in the middle of something like that, truly, but we're ready for it if it does happen.
You guys are celebrating 75 years. Just take me through, how has this profession changed over the course of the 75 years?
Yeah, incredibly. When we were born, athletic trainers were mostly in the collegiate setting, some in the professional setting, and we weren't that healthcare provider that we are today. We've become such an incredibly talented, expert healthcare provider for not only athletes but also the general population. What we're doing now, I'm sure 75 years ago, those ATs never would have imagined that we're doing. And I'm sure it'll be true again. It's what healthcare does. But we've come so far. We're very proud of where we were 75 years ago, but even prouder of where we are now.
I was going to say, and one of the notes looking through is now over 50% of the athletic trainers in the country are women, which I know if this was mentioned in the 60s and 70s, nobody would believe that. Just how far has that come, even though the answer is we still have a long way to go?
Well, Title IX helped with that, truly. Once something was in place that guaranteed women an opportunity, then it was natural for us to come behind that and take care of those athletes. But to be now a profession that was dominated by men, now we're just a little over 50% women, I think speaks to the different types of patients that need care and our ability to bring that care to them.
One of the other note here that it does bother me being a high school football coach is that only 37% of public and private schools in the U.S. have athletic trainers. If you look at the landscape and you say to yourself, this is where the biggest improvement, is it fair to say that getting athletic trainers in every high school is at the top of the list?
Without question. When we think about the Damar Hamlin situation again, my question to schools is, what if that happened on your field? Would you be ready? And if you don't have an athletic trainer in place to put all of that preparatory work in so that you are ready, then think about the potential tragedy that could be the result of that cardiac arrest or other type of emergency. It's one of our biggest goals is to make sure that every athlete has access to an athletic trainer, and the gold standard is a full-time athletic trainer at those schools.
One of the, we've talked about a little bit with pfats. Talk a little bit about your relationship with pfats and how you work with them and their relationship with the NFL.
Yeah, pfats is such an amazing organization, so important to make sure that all athletic trainers are talking about healthcare and in this instance, talking about the healthcare of these professional athletes. They're such a great advocate for not only athletic training, but healthcare and those athletes' healthcare. Tremendous voice on behalf of the athletes. And their partnership with the NFL is so critical to make sure that health and wellness of those athletes is the most important thing.
And athletic training isn't just treating injuries. What are the other things that go into being an athletic trainer in the day-to-day operation?
Yeah, we prevent, we assess, we manage, and we rehabilitate athletes back to full play. There's a lot also that goes into recognizing mental health challenges, making sure that athletes are prepared both from a sleep standpoint, from a recovery standpoint. All of that is within the wheelhouse of athletic training. And not to have those people on the sideline, again, back to the high school, is just putting you at a disadvantage.
And what would you say to people that want to be athletic trainers? What would be the three things you say, if you're going to do this to be successful, you got to do X, Y, Z?
Yeah, it's a passion. So if it's something you're interested in, make sure it becomes your passion, that you find the right university to prepare you adequately, and that you really have a desire to help people, and a sense of humor doesn't hurt either.
I can promise you, a lot of athletic trainers, very good senses of humor.
Yes.
Cathy, I'll get you out of here on this. You're here at Super Bowl week. Tell me how you're feeling just walking around, seeing all of this. What does this mean to you to be able to be here promoting NATA?
Sure. Well, I've always said that one of my favorite things to do as president of NATA is to talk about athletic trainers. So to be able to do this on this stage is just an honor for me. Athletic trainers are so critical to health and wellness of patients and athletes. And to be able to talk about that is my absolute favorite thing to do.
So, Cathy, I can't let you leave without talking about, we have the cookies in front of us, okay? You're going to pick, tell us who you think's going to win, and you get that cookie at the end of
mercy. It. Wow. I got to go Kansas City.
All right. Kansas, that's 3, by the way, now, since we've been doing this for Kansas City. So you can take the Kansas City cookie. Cathy, thank you so much for taking some time. And if you want to learn more, where can they go to learn more about NATA?
NATA.org.
All right. NATA.org. We'll have more from Radio Row with the Ed Block Coach Cathy.